You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum, and the Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind. Well, good morning and hello, kids. Welcome to season number 3 and episode 81 of the Daily Beaver here on the Crier Media Network. Today, recording day is Tuesday, March 21st. Welcome spring 2023, and it will be a mostly sunny day here at the Beaver Lodge with temperatures hitting 5 degrees Celsius. I'm your host, the Eager Beaver, pronouns he, him, hey, Mr. Beaver, eh? And with me, as always, is my good friend, Mr. Grizzly. Of course, a big thank you goes to our podcast's founding sponsors, the Peppermaster, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, and CanadianTarot.com. We have a Tuesday morning nibble for you today, kids. But first, the most important thing we do every day is make sure that we say hello to Mr. Grizzly and ask him, how's his mental health today? So, good morning, Mr. Grizzly. Hello. How's your mental health today?
Good morning, Mr. Beaver. I think I'm good. I need more coffee.
You're sure?
Well, I could use some more coffee. I am a little tired, but I think I'm pretty good. Yeah. I don't hate myself, so that's good, right?
Usually. I mean, you can love yourself a little too much.
I suppose. Then I'd be a complete narcissist, wouldn't I be? And that I am not.
No, you are not. That is very true. Good morning, Kit Linda M. Good morning, Kit Daniel. Good morning, Kit Saucy. So lovely to see you today. There's a lot going on, Mr. Grizzly.
Yeah, there is. I've got a couple of quick hits for you.
Okay.
As always. First off, let's start it off with the most reviled man in Canadian politics, which I think we can all figure out who that is pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
And his refusal to be briefed on the entire CPC, CCP thing.
A trap and a trick that Trudeau would bring in MPs from your party, and
they're already in.
Well, you're going to participate in some of
So
your
if I could correct the falsehood in your question, the question was yesterday was whether I would go in and personally get briefed about secrets of the state, and the answer, if I could answer your question, and the answer I gave was, of course not, because then I would use that to silence me from speaking out any further. It would then become illegal for me to speak out. Now,
you don't have the clearance.
Smug little bastard. What a smug little prick. So then the immediate response, the first tweet response to that is this one, which I think is a thing of beauty, quite frankly. So basically what you're saying, Pierre Poilievre, is that it would be illegal for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to speak out about this, but yet you keep wasting question period asking questions you know would be illegal for him to answer. Do you even listen to yourself when you speak? Another epic fail.
Pretty much, right? Again, I keep on asking. Like oh God, not Chris Rock, the other guy that has Chris Tucker question. Do you understand the words that are coming out of your mouth as they are coming out of your mouth?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, if you don't want to go because you don't want to be silenced, then why are you complaining that the prime minister who you claim was briefed is silent?
And I have an immediate follow-up to this. And this is a barn burner. This should shut up that little shit forever. It won't. It won't, but this should, because this is 2 minutes and 13 seconds of a bomb, a gigantic bomb. Watch this.
Okay.
Well, Michelle Juneau Katsuya, says Canadian policymakers have been ignoring warnings from him and others for decades. Katsuya joins us now from Rimouski, Quebec. Michelle, thank you so much for taking time. We know this story keeps evolving. How serious is China's political interference from your perspective in Canadian politics?
It became extremely serious, and it became extremely dangerous also for our democracy, for our system. I was the chief of Asia Pacific for CSUS in the mid-90s when we were corresponding with our U.S. counterpart, and we were exchanging data, we were exchanging worries about what was going on. When we published our report, it was totally cited, and nobody wanted to pay attention to what we were saying. At that period of time, we could have been capable to probably mitigate the threat that China was starting to engage against us. Today, it has evolved to the size that now the revelation of the Globe and Mail tells us. And this whistleblower is doing us a service to reveal what all government, every party, every government has ignored for decades now. So it's not only this current government that is at fault. All previous governments were also ignoring what we were saying. The other element is definitely we have evidence that we have been infiltrated by agents of influence, people working on behalf of the Chinese intelligence service, not necessarily spy, but people who have been recruited and being capable to influence the power at bay. So this has been going on for the last 40 years, from Mr. Mulroney all the way to Mr. Trudeau today. Every prime minister has been compromised at one point or another by those agents of influence.
Every prime minister, you say, has been compromised by those agents?
Every prime minister. Every government, every office was compromised. And when we brought the warning, nobody listened.
Well, that's a bombshell.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, I do want to correct his language, though.
Okay.
And maybe it's a language barrier. He called the leaker a whistleblower. It's a leaker, not a whistleblower. There's a difference.
Yep.
There's a difference in that, and that
The
word is
whistleblower
important.
goes through the process.
Yes, correct. This was a leak by somebody who leaked state secrets.
Yeah.
But wow, back to Mulroney.
But
so again, it should shut up. Yeah. Oh, we did. It should shut up, Pierre. It won't.
It won't. But this is common knowledge.
And now he'll play. He can feign ignorance all day long because he refused to be briefed. Yes. So he could make political hay out of this.
But people in his committee, people in his caucus have been briefed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they have the duty to be telling him in that case if he's off the rails.
Yeah. They won't.
So that's the next follow-up question then. Mm-hmm. Right? The painfully obvious follow-up question. The first one is, well, of course, well, then why are you bitching? Because the prime minister is not saying anything because you're claiming he has seen the documents, number one. That's a follow-up question. But number two, okay, you haven't seen the documents, but you have 2 MPs, at least, that sit on NSICOP and have seen the documents. Have they not told you that you are off the mark? Huh? If not, why not? Have you asked them if you are off the mark?
Mhm.
This is what I'm going to go out to say. Does this correspond with what you've seen in committee? Seems like a easy check to do. Maybe, perhaps. I don't know. Never know. Just, I mean, if you don't want to know, you don't ask. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. Wow. That's
a bombshell.
if we had regular functioning news media, that would be like playing once an hour, every hour, that little clip on until they responded.
Oh yeah,
On the 27th,
that clip was sent to me,
24/7
by the way, by Clinton DeVoe. He sent that to me last night, or I'm not sure what time he sent it to me actually, but I was just going over stuff this morning. I thought, ooh, that's a bombshell of a clip that needs to be aired.
Mm.
Yeah, it was last night
Yeah.
he sent that to me. So thanks, Clinton. I appreciate that.
Yeah, please, you need to send me those links so for both of those tweets so I can circulate them on our feed as well.
Yeah, I
Wow.
will do that.
Oh my God! Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have a couple of other things, or?
Well, there is another thing that was just sent to me a few minutes ago by Thunder Bay Ed. Just sent me a DM. This is interesting. I'm gonna throw this up on the screen. Let me just blow it up a little bit. And it's 42 seconds of nasal voice, but it's the interesting follow up that I think is something we need to pay attention to. So, whoops, I forgot to. Did I turn on the sound? Yeah, tell me if you can hear this. You should be able to hear this. Anyway, so let's start with this. Will Jagmeet Singh stop shielding his Liberal coalition partners and stand up for Canadian democracy? Or is this a secret part of his backroom deal with Trudeau? Okay, it's not a backroom deal. Canadians deserve answers. Trudeau's top advisor must testify.
We know now from leaked intelligence reports that the Liberal Party received help in multiple elections from the communist government in Beijing, which wanted to keep the Prime Minister in place. We know that his top campaign officials like Katie Telford would have been aware of this help, and we need to know exactly what she knew and what the Prime Minister knew. Only she can answer these questions, but only the leader of the NDP will decide. He is the deciding vote. So the question for him is, will he help his boss, the Prime Minister, cover up, or will he vote for the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff to testify? Which is it?
His boss?
The two things he said. Sorry. Go.
But his boss? I'm sorry. Justin Trudeau is not Jagmeet Singh's boss. We are. Number one. But here's the follow-up from Thunder Bay Ed. Concerns about Pierre Poilievre's leadership. Anti-abortion groups angered by ouster of candidate for Conservative nomination. Two national anti-abortion groups are raising concerns about Pierre Poilievre's leadership after the Federal Conservative Party upheld the disqualification of a candidate for a party nomination in Ontario, although he was backed by 5 MPs. Garrett Van Dorland's supporters included Leslyn Lewis, a two-time candidate for the leadership of the Conservatives. Interesting follow-up. It's a bit of a non sequitur, but that was the follow-up I was sent, so I thought I'd post it.
Okay.
But, the way he rails on, it's just...
I'm not sure about the follow-up part to that.
No, it's not really. I don't think it's a follow-up to that. I think it's just more of a call-out more than anything else.
Well, the thing about that clip is that the two things that Poilievre said is not true.
Mm-hmm.
The two things he said that we know, I can't remember what the first one is off the top of my head, but we don't know those things. We don't know. We don't know. And if the first thing he said is true based on what the previous clip you showed us said, well, what about the 3 elections that the Conservative Party ran in which he benefited because he got his seat?
Mm-hmm. And this is from 14
if they've been
hours
helping,
ago.
Pardon?
It's 14 hours ago, that.
Yeah, so if they've been helping since the days of Mulroney, then they helped you too, didn't they, PP?
Yeah.
I guess, and again, as we've stated, this type of influence campaign can be done where the people affected or targeted are unwitting. So why would it be necessarily so that Katie Telford would be aware? It's like, what did they send her a memo? We're
Well,
about to. No, but it's like we're about to influence your elections now. We thought you should know in case like some little pissant opposition leader claims you do.
well, this is a good one from Jillian right here. What is shocking is that Harper would bind Canada to China despite that deep knowledge, and that's a fact.
Yes. I keep on saying
31 years.
FIPA was Harper's penance for having embarrassed China the first 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he bent over and took it. It's what he did. He bent over. He handed us to China for 31 years.
It's the only reason that explains why it is we were not allowed to know anything. Because any other free deal, we saw NAFTA 2 negotiated before our eyes. We saw the TPP negotiated before our eyes. We saw the CETA deal negotiated before our eyes. Whatever we're negotiating with the UK to establish a new free trade deal with the UK because of CETA fell apart. Not CETA fell apart, but they withdrew from CETA.
Right.
By withdrawing from the EU. All those, we saw people going back and forth, and we were getting reports on how things were going along the way.
Mm-hmm.
This was the one of these things is not like the others.
Very much so.
Yeah. All right. I have a few things.
Okay.
Here's our friend, Caillou.
Oh, what did he do now?
Oh, he broke one of the first rules of being gay.
What's that?
Never tell people you're tired. People might agree. Or revolting. I'm revolting. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I'm tired. Oh, I agree. You're most definitely tired.
Is that the Dutch flag in his?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, he's a big fan of the farmers in the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a cute thing.
Or apparently leading some type of revolution.
Not really.
So he says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he says. These are the farmers. They really know how to fight. Well, I wish we had these people here. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Then.
Why isn't? I thought he was a proud Canadian.
Oh, well, you know. We've let him down.
I only have one flag in my bio, and that's the Canadian flag, and it's been there for 10 plus years.
Yeah. It seems that we've let him down.
Well,
halfway around the world.
There, then.
Right.
Oh boy, would he be in for a shock if he moved to the Netherlands. You want to talk liberal policies, my friends?
Well, the government currently in place is conservative, so maybe that's why.
Dutch conservative, I guess, is not like the Dutch conservatives in this country. I mean, prostitution is still legal. Brothels are everywhere. Tipple zones are everywhere. You know what a tipple zone is? Look it up. You might find it to be interesting. They're basically roadside stops where you can go with a prostitute and exchange good for services. Exchange your digits. Yes. They call them tipple zones, where you can go in and do what you want to do.
Interesting.
On the side of a road. Like literally, they're like roadside stops.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Halfway around the world, a certain chairman is meeting a certain Hitler wannabe.
Oh, who's that now? So Christine Anderson, I suppose?
No. The big guys.
One. Oh,
the
Putin?
Big guys. Pucci.
Oh, yeah.
We got to give names. You know how we got like Bennifer and whatnot?
Mm-hmm.
This is Pucci.
Pucci, right. Yes, I see that. That's good. Pucci.
So, a warm handshake, right? A warm handshake. A warm handshake. Whoa, darn.
Okay, hang on. That's really
that is not the picture that was supposed to follow that for some reason.
See if you can find it, because that makes me dizzy.
There we go. What's going on here? Please tell me this is photoshopped.
Is he kissing his ring? That's what he's doing. He's kissing his ring. It
looks like it.
It could be photoshopped.
Putin is pulling a Kaepernick for Xi here.
Well, maybe it's just the advanced partisan and he fell to his knees.
Could be, but although Xi
I'm
seems to
surprised
be
that photo
smiling here.
was. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised that photo was allowed to be distributed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So they are visiting, and Putin is basically describing this trip as being a sign that China is getting in the trenches with Russia. Not too sure if that is the case, but China definitely has an interest in trying to raises Russia's level a little bit to keep this going as far as possible, because if that is the case, then Russia's depleting itself, which helps China, and the West is depleting itself, which also helps China.
Yeah, Xi wins in the end.
Yes, so Xi has a perfect vested, again, right, as Bo of the Fifth Column keeps saying, the international poker table where everybody's cheating. Xi has a definite self-interest in slipping Putin a few cards under the table to keep this going in order to deplete the other partner or the other players at the table. Now, Sergei Bachenko, who's a professor of international relations at Johns Hopkins University, says that this is even more of a sign that Russia is indeed isolated and needs China to buy its energy and goods. Also, when we were with Kit Hugh over the weekend, he was playing me something, and it seems that Russia is getting to the point where its currency reserves are low enough that the sanctions might be starting to bite more, in that Russia will have a more difficult time hiding from its people. Because they've got less and less things to jig around. They've still got some decent gold reserves. Then they have some foreign currency reserves. They've been buying currencies in other denominations because the Russian currency is not accepted everywhere.
The ruble?
Yep, but they are running annual deficits that are getting larger and larger, and soon they will not be able to cover it by other means. So
China's bailing them out, but China's about to go bankrupt. Didn't Evergrande just declare bankruptcy for something like $980 billion or something like that?
Yeah, China's in a bit of not in the best position either at the moment.
No, they'll just print more money.
Mm-hmm. So Bachenko says, and that's what that photo sort of indicates to me, I think many Russian political elites will find that being a vassal of China is very humiliating. But it's even more humiliating to be defeated by the West, so they have to choose between two forms of humiliation here. It's basically what's going on, and Putin has decided who he's bowing to. Putin's also hoping to build a new 2,600-kilometer pipeline called the Power of Siberia 2. And China and Russia right now are discussing the cost sharing. So there's a lot of speculation that if there isn't an agreement on cost sharing right now, it means that China's probably putting the screws to Russia to get an even more better deal, where Russia gets a little exploited. Just a little more. Just a smidge. I don't know, Vladdy. If you had to choose between China and the West, I think you would have had much more freedom if you had chosen the West.
Well, dictator's going to dictate.
Yep. Dictator's going to dictate. Meanwhile, while we are preparing for a beautiful visit from our best friends south of us, President Joe Biden will be arriving on the 23rd and 24th to visit Canada, and will be accompanied by the First Lady, Jill Biden.
And all in-office meetings in my building have been scheduled to go online only over the next couple of days because of the traffic snarls the visit will create.
Well, while one president is getting ready to come to Canada, another president's about to go to court.
Yes, they were setting up fences.
You were about to lose your job. You were about to lose your job. Take the stance up. You were about to lose your job.
They were setting up fences yesterday outside the courthouse in New York City. The police were, I saw barricades going up, which means the arrest is probably going to take place today. So when they march him into the courthouse to arraign him, that would mean that they're expecting big crowds.
Well, I mean, Trump did put out a because he never learns. And
Mm.
essentially a tweet or a truth, he calls them, I guess, on his other thing. Come to my arraignment, will be wild. For all intents and purposes. It seems that so far, there's only been a smattering of protests so far at the prospect. Nobody's really come out to heed his call. Now, of
Do you
course,
think
that will change
they're beginning to
as
realize
it
that
happens.
they're backing a loser? Do you think that realization is starting to happen for some people?
For some of them, yes, but not for enough yet.
Not for enough, yeah.
Not for enough yet. So, I don't know. It's almost, Mr. Grizzly, like we would need, I don't know, just Christmas music above this. I'd say it's the
It was, yeah.
most wonderful time of the year. Well, till chumps go to jail and we all say hail, hail, we'll be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It makes you wonder, right? It makes you wonder.
Just warms the cockles and brings a tear to the eye.
Well,
So
I'm
beautiful.
curious to see if it happens. You know, if it happens, it's going to be a big news story. That's for darn sure. But it'll be over and done within a 24-hour news cycle, and we'll move on to something else. But definitely, it'll be a big news story today if it does happen.
It's so beautiful.
Well, this is an interesting quote from Linda. Also, going up against the NYPD is totally different from breaking windows and pushing around Capitol Police. Yeah, something tells me they'll prepare themselves and defend themselves and fight back much the way the Sûreté du Québec does when they bring out their riot squad. You don't want to mess with them.
Did you just say the Sûreté?
Sûreté.
Sûreté.
Sûreté, sorry. Hey, the pronunciation was good.
That's so cute.
Sûreté du
It's
Québec.
much less menacing, though. Put your hands up. We're the Sûreté de Québec.
Sûreté. The
I love
SQs.
it.
The SQs.
The SQ. That's so cute.
If you don't know who the SQ is, Google them. They will.
Don't mess with them.
Well, that's why I said when the occupation was kettled, all the Quebecois licensees, anybody who had a Quebec plate on, when they saw the SQs arrive, they got in their trucks, their vans, their cars, their tractor trailers, whatever they were driving, and got the hell out of there quickly. Because they know the SQs don't come to play around. They like to crack skulls. And they do it.
Indeed.
Frequently.
Yep. I believe we had some video of that, Mr. Grizzly.
I don't see anything.
Yeah, back in the day, like this, we had some live cam video from the time. If you would put it up there, Mr. Grizzly.
Mm-hmm.
Believe that's what they did.
Yep, that's exactly what they did. Excuse, I'm out of here. Sûreté du Québec. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So Trump has been going all over the web saying, I'm going to be arrested on Tuesday. I was kind of hoping they would do it on Wednesday just to fuck with him.
I was kind of hoping they'd do it yesterday just to catch him by surprise, right?
Surprise, bitch.
He's all prepped for it. Well, today's the day. What?
Oh, darn. Did you tell people to come and protest your arraignment one day too late?
What a shame.
So, yes, apparently there's been 3 signs that today might in fact be the day. One was the security preparations, from which we've seen evidence, that the orange shit stains personal lawyer, because apparently he still is able to find one. I hope the check cleared first. Just saying. Trump's present lawyer says that he will turn himself in if indicted. Now, of course, this is not because he's suddenly found religion on the law. That's because it avoids pictures and video of perp walks. Because while perp walks aren't so popular in Canada, they're very big south side.
Oh yeah, it's big clickbait news story, right? Huge clickbait news story.
And orange is his color. Anyway, It's camouflage. They'll never find him in jail.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, look for the yellow hair. Look for the yellow hair.
Oh, darn. So, and it seems that. Sorry, I can't resist.
Oh,
I had to get out the nail file. And it seems that Trump, one of Trump's former lawyers, Evan Cochran, who was working on the documents case, remember there were some people that signed some papers saying that they attested that everything was there, and then turns out it wasn't.
mhm.
And then it seems that the two lawyers say, well, I mean, I was told that everything was there, so I had people sign it rather than I checked myself type thing. Well, some guy, Christina Bob was one of them, Evan Cochran was the other one. Well, it seems that Evan Cochran had a federal judge determine that he must testify to the grand jury in the documents case because the case, in the judge's opinion, has met the crime fraud exception. Yes, kids. All conversations with your lawyer are indeed confidential, except if you are having a conversation with your lawyer for the purposes of committing crime or fraud. That's
Yeah.
called the crime fraud exception. Those types of communications with your lawyer are not privileged.
No, they are not. No, they are not.
No, they are not.
Criming is criming. Don't be criming if you can't do the
Don't be
timing.
criming if you can't do the timing. So, yeah, that seems like indeed, Kitty Lane. Whoops.
Oopsie poopsie. I had an accident.
that.
I think I had an accident. I didn't do it.
Donald Urkel. Oh, that would be a great meme, wouldn't it? Donald Trump with pants like halfway up the bill of suspenders. I do that.
Somebody get on that.
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
Get that to DaCosta right away.
DaCosta, right? Speaking of DaCosta, we
Mm.
apparently there's a new cable service
Oh,
called CPC Streaming, and they've got a whole new slate of TV shows.
oh, really? I'm not
Yes,
familiar with
and it
this.
seems that they're really, really, really excited about this one. They think that this one is going to be their number one show. They have high hopes for this one.
Friends. Well, that could be interesting.
Starring David Johnston, the Aga Khan, Morris Rosenberg, Dominic Barton, and Justice Rouleau.
Along with
The episode where they all go skiing together is really funny.
the one where they go skiing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Johnston being 81 and Trudeau being 51. Oh, the times they had growing up on the hills together.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know that's the one that kills me. They were skiing buddies. There's a 30-year difference in their age. I don't think they were skiing buddies.
Oh, man. When Johnson was doing the moguls, when Trudeau was just 3,
Yeah.
he was such an awe.
Look. Johnston would have been my age when Trudeau was, of age to go skiing. I do double black diamonds on my own, and I can still do them. I don't do mogul runs. I don't do tricks. I don't do jumps. I avoid jumps at all cost because, knees, they don't. It's enough that I can still ski the way I like to ski. I don't want to destroy what's left. So
I'm just waiting for the images of like Trudeau and Johnston at the après ski. Trudeau sitting on Johnston's lap, enjoying a bowl of hot chocolate while he has a whiskey, regaling each other with stories of university days gone. Well, Johnston's stories of university days gone by because Justin hasn't gotten there yet. But aspirations.
where do they come
Having
up
an
with this
aspirational
shit?
conversation about university.
Well, these are the same idiots that insist that Fidel Castro was Justin Trudeau's father. The math doesn't math.
He was hiding behind the couch the whole
The
time.
math doesn't math. He was already 3 years old the first time they set foot in Cuba. The math doesn't math.
Conservatives can math real good.
Yeah. I have another one for you here.
Friends, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on CPC TV. Watch it.
I have another one for you here that I think you'll appreciate this. So you know how Skippy went on about how he's going to remove the gatekeepers to make doctors and nurses licensed quicker in Canada. Well, I like this one. As a former nursing student, I am fucking livid about Pierre Poilievre's national exams for doctors and nurses bullshit today. They already take national exams that entitle them to work in any province, you fucking morons. MDs take the MCCQE, RNs take the NCLEX, and LPNs, RPNs take the CPNRE. More bullshit from Pierre because he's a specialist in bullshit. Obfuscation, lie, misdirection.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
How soon is he
Yeah,
going to
there's
pivot
only-
from the China thing now that he's refused to be briefed on it? And everybody's been compromised since Brian Mulroney.
Right.
And this now explains why Harper tied us to China for 31 years with FIPA in secret. Because he was compromised. What about that? Can we investigate that a little bit further? Because holy shit.
Well, that's what I assume that David Johnston will come back, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
With that type of thing. Because I'm guessing that there's going to be some type of inquiry or next stage.
Oh, absolutely.
Either it's going to go through the committee or there's going to be some type of inquiry. But Johnston is going to make some recommendations about the scope if he does that. And that scope is going to be just the overall thing, as we keep on mentioning, with changing technology and it being more accessible to more countries and being much easier to do.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do for the future? And how do we look back at that 40 years? I mean, if he's going to do that type of report, he's going to talk to former CSIS.
Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely. Well, without
question.
I mean,
there's no way he's going to be able to limit that to just 2 years if they're saying that it's been going on for 40 and successive governments have done nothing.
He will
of either stripe.
He will investigate everything.
So this rapporteur thing, while the Prime Minister's taking a lot of hits on it right now, may have actually been a smart move, because had we gone right away to getting someone for an inquiry and they're already discussing the terms, we'd be missing all of these things that the Conservatives are doing to just pretty much hang themselves.
Yeah. Well, history only started, 3 weeks ago?
Well, yes, after the last time they did it.
Yeah. Because they've forgotten all about his testimony at the POEC. Like, that never took place, apparently.
No.
Apparently.
No. Ooh, are you going to apparently yourself?
I just did.
But I didn't hear I didn't hear our friend.
It's great. Apparently, I've never been on live television before, but apparently sometimes I don't watch the news.
So we had this, Mr. Grizzly, if you'll put it up.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, boy.
Scheer just repeated in the foyer that he thinks Trudeau is corrupt. Now, some people are saying that the foyer is equally protected.
No, it's not. It is not.
I always assumed it wasn't, because everybody keeps on saying, why don't you say on the other side of the doors what you just said in the House? So I don't know where that is, but...
I know exactly where that is. I built that room.
Remember this?
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy that always rushes in quickly,
mm-hmm.
because he got laughed at like crazy. And when that one didn't work, then he came out the next day and said, we already have enough evidence to determine that a police investigation is warranted. They didn't, and one never happened. So I don't know what's wrong with Scheer, that he keeps on being the guy that comes out and... Scheer would be the guy in the horror movie, like 7 minutes in, said, yeah, Freddy Krueger's dead.
Don't worry about Jason in the hockey mask. He's just a goalie. That's all. He's fine. Leatherface is just misunderstood.
He'd be the guy that said, like, don't wait up and I will be back. And hey, what's over? Let's split up.
No, you'll be okay.
He's that guy.
You know the rules of a horror film. No. It's okay. If you give your virginity to me, nothing bad will happen to you after this.
I'm still a virgin.
Immediately.
I'll be here for the sequel.
Immediately afterwards, they're both dead.
Right.
That's the rules, right? You lose your virginity in a horror film, you're dead.
Yeah. But, right. Then you'll get the other type of horror movie, like the Screams, right?
Where they talk
He
about
would be in
that.
Scream. He'd be sitting there go, but he'd have like whatever implement was used and be on the ground bleeding out. But I'm a virgin.
Dude, you have 3 children. How's that possible?
We know how that's possible.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I know. I don't want to spread that rumor. That's a little, I think that's a bridge too far, quite frankly.
That's a bridge too far. But we know how that's possible. I'm just saying it's not impossible. Well, I mean, let's put it this way. He smiles too much to be an incel, so.
Yeah.
He's a little cute.
Yeah.
He's just ugly on the inside, but
yeah,
he's got the cheeks thing going on. He's got the baby blues.
He's not nearly angry enough to be an incel.
No, he's just dumb as a bag of
dumber than a bag of hammers. He has the brains of an ice cube. I have the brains of an ice cube.
Then record a damn album. Drop some beats. Give me some rhymes.
No, not Ice Cube, an Ice Cube.
Oh,
I have the brains of
sorry,
an
I missed
ice
the
cube.
article there.
That's an important one. Ice Cube's a smart man. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yes.
I would never make fun of him. I love the Cube. Guy's got beats. He's got style. He knows what he's doing.
What's not to love?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Grizzly, are we getting close to the end of our show?
Oh, yeah, we are. Yeah, I got to run. I got to get out of here.
Two bits of good news. The Weeknd, right? The singer.
Okay, I was going to say the artist.
Not the days we look forward to, but the singer, the musician, has been certified by the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's most popular artist.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yep. He has had more than 111 million monthly listeners on Spotify, which is more than Taylor Swift, more than Shakira, or Miley Cyrus, who is second at 82.4 million.
Miley's second?
Miley's second.
Wow, I thought Taylor would have been second.
Me too.
Huh.
I thought Taylor would have been first.
Well, truth be told, yeah. Way to go. Way to go.
Beyonce has when Beyonce has an album out, it's usually her, but
way to go, Adele.
But yes, but it's like 111 million, and second place is 82.4.
Wow, that's a big.
It's like far and above.
Yeah, like 30 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's great. Now, great for him. And then there's this thing here, Mr. Grizzly. This young lady who we've mentioned a few times this year, if you will put it up, Catherine Sebov, tennis player, late bloomer in her career. She has won 2 titles this year so far. Qualified for the Australian Open, her first Grand Slam ever. And now she's qualified for her first. I think she's played in some 1000s, like the Montreal Toronto tournament, but maybe got a direct entry or won a few or got a direct entry to the qualifications. But this is all her. She got a qualification entry spot based on her ranking, and then defeated people, and she's in the main draw. So she's ranked 159th in the world, but she's playing tennis like she's top 64 at the moment.
Well, keep going.
Keep going. She's been waiting a long time for this.
Maybe her day is due. Her day is due.
Yeah. I'm noticing that in sports a whole lot more. Late bloomers are.
Well, maybe they've just been able to sort out whatever sort of emotional or mental health issues they had, because I believe most athletes do have some sort of mental health issue that goes undiagnosed for decades. And finally,
that kind of discipline, probably.
Yeah, like case in point, Simone Biles in the Olympics bowed out of the vault because she wasn't mentally there and didn't want to hurt herself or damage her.
Yeah, she wasn't able to orient herself in space while she was twisting and turning.
Which means that's dangerous. You could die or maim yourself permanently. And she didn't want to either hurt herself or hurt her teammates' chances at a gold medal by bringing scores down. So she just bowed out, which is the smart thing to do because she knew she wasn't mentally there.
Indeed. All right, kids. That is the end of this episode of the True North Eager Beaver, the Daily Beaver podcast. We hope that you loved listening to us because we loved making this for you. Remember that sharing is caring and word of mouth is priceless, so please let your peeps know about us. And if you really like this podcast, you can find us on the Crier Media Network, as well as all Beaver Grizzly friendly platforms. Stars and reviews are appreciated. We love to hear from you. Reach us on our Facebook at True North Eager Beaver, our Twitter feed at True Eager, or by email via truenortheagerbeaver@gmail.com. And if you'd like to make sure that you get every one of our podcasts as soon as they are ready, then please subscribe to us via our pod page, podpage.com/the True North Eager Beaver, lowercase letters with a hyphen between each one of those words, and we'll come straight to you when we have something off the bandwidth. And you may have noticed that yesterday you received a lot from us for the bandwidth, because we finally got caught up posting our past episodes. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Grizzly.
Oh, you're welcome.
Really appreciate that. If you are watching this on our YouTube channel, well, why not smash that button, right? Say that you like it, as Kit Elaine says, and then smash that subscriber button as well, please. We're trying to get to at least 1,000 so that we can monetize the show. So go to our True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated page on YouTube, and that would help us up big time. Thank you very much. We can't do this without your kind and generous support. So if you feel we've done a particularly good show, or if you're watching here, you can look at that QR code above Mr. Grizzly's head. And if you scan that, that will bring you to our emergency coffee/hot chocolate fund. And if you're listening, then you let your fingers do the walking and you go to coffee.com. That's ko-fi.com. And you /Eager Beaver, all in one word, lowercase letters. And that's where you go to make your donation. We appreciate it. Just like Kit Tavi G has done, Mr. Grizzly. And I believe that Kit Tavi is watching today. So good morning to you. Just sent us just a little thank you. I really enjoy your podcast, and sent us a lovely tip. So
Excellent.
Thank you very much, Kit Tavi G. Really appreciate that. And I believe Tavi G is a new tipper. So we really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We do.
Yeah. Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. Merch still offline, but we're working on that as we're taking over, as the network is taking over the supply and distribution of that. So we'll have something for you soon enough when that gets back online. Yep. From the Beaver Lodge, this is your Eager Beaver saying, until next time, dear kits, it could be a tough world out there, so be kind to and gentle with yourself. And hello to Kit Miss Sarika and Kit Canadian A, who are on here watching us this morning, who joined us a little later on. Thank you very much. Kit Jillian as well, Kit Mel, Kit Tim. Thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Grizzly, do you have some words of wisdom for us before we go?
Yeah, when you experience a migraine like I did last night in the middle of an ASMR show,
ooh,
I had to cut it short because it came out of nowhere, and it felt like somebody's trying to drill through from my skull inside out. Ooh. It started here and went right to the back. Anyway, when you're experiencing that, my best suggestion is to take some whatever painkiller medication you have for migraines, lie down in the dark, in the quiet, cold compress on your forehead. It will help. Oh, it was brutal.
I hope you feel. Are you still feeling it today, or
just the tiniest, ever so slight bit, enough to remind me that it took place. I like to forget about it when it happens, but no, that was a bad one. Right, right in the middle of the show. I had to cut the show early by about 10 or 15 minutes or something. So. It happens. Life goes on. But if you're interested, you can watch the ASMR and see what happens when I get hit with a migraine. And you can see it actually in my face, how my face literally changes in the show. It's on my personal YouTube ASMR channel.
If you are watching on Wednesday, our friend Kit Ray, who apparently wants to be, well, we're debating. Mr. Otter says that everybody has to have a Mr. or a Ms. or a Mrs. in front because that's our thing. I don't necessarily think that that's the case, but it seems that Ray wants to be known as either Mr. Duck-billed Platypus or the Duck-billed Platypus. I thought that duh would be
the Duck-billed Platypus. I like that. Yeah.
Yes. So there we go. We've added another critter. But if you like another Crier Media Network offering called Around the Horn, we recorded an episode yesterday, and it will be airing tomorrow on Wednesday. And, well, there you go. I will be on that one. And it appears that I will be on it a little more often. It seems that they like me so much, they asked me to join.
Cool. Nice. Nice.
I've never been this popular in my entire life.
Settle down. Don't get a swelled head. Don't worry,
All
folks.
right,
I'll
Mr.
keep them
Grizzly.
grounded.
Please do. Because like right now it's like, ooh, helium. Ooh.
Settle down.
Mr. Grizzly, please roll the credits. You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum, and The Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind. And a big shout out to Kit Linda, who just said, "You're a star, darling."
Well, let's thank you. And I just see here, Miss Sarika sent us something yesterday as well.
Yes, I was saving it to mention on tomorrow's show so that we can spread them out.
I'm sorry.
But we did receive it, Miss Sarika, so thank you very much.
Well,
And you'll get a double mention.
I put the link to my YouTube in there if you want to see it. Take care, folks. I'll see you soon. Bye.